Google never fails me.
There you go.
Someone else AI'd it, but I'm just gonna Google it.
That works perfectly. So Johnny just hit us with the surprise start. So now everybody's going to hear your first words at Google and they're going to go, who the fuck? What kind of show is this nonsense? Don't they edit? Hey, dude.
Hey, man, what's up?
Thanks for joining us. You've heard him already. Here's GanjaLlama. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on. I'm honored.
You shouldn't be.
Long
This
time
intro
listener,
is
first time caller.
terrible. We've butchered it already, which is funny because this is our second attempt. But actually less butchered than the first, so I'll go with it. I forced Johnny awake early this morning, as you can tell.
It's afternoon almost.
Yeah, I know. What's funnier is that you picked this time. GanjaLlama, we've been trying to have you on for what feels like eternity, but every time we get close, some a-hole cancels on you. So we appreciate you being patient with us.
Oh, I'm just honored to be here.
You keep saying that word. I do not think you understand what that word means, my friend.
This is great.
This is a downgrade to your life so far.
my Sundays start with listening to an episode and working in the garden, so I think it's pretty cool.
But now you won't have to listen to this one.
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
It's also early Sunday. It is a common theme. I do not blame anyone who doesn't want to listen to their episodes. Lord knows I try. But we're here on an early Sunday. One of Johnny's favorite segments is waking up early and just going for wake and bake. So I'm going to turn it over to him as he is spry and ready to go.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Ganja, man. So we like to get the guests on and we like to bring them back to the beginning. Like, what led you down the path of cannabis? How'd you get started with this plant we've all grown to love?
Oh, when I was like 19, someone handed me a pipe and I was like, hell yeah, sure. I've never had the opportunity before. Enjoyed it. Didn't think much of it. A year later, same thing happened. Enjoyed it. And then a couple of years went by and I fell in love with it again. I don't even really know what it was, but had a sack fall in my lap and started using it to unwind at the end of the day and found it super medicinal, and then became like right away I was just like, well, it just makes sense to buy an ounce at a time because otherwise I'm getting ripped off. And
right.
So there we go.
Gotta buy in bulk.
Yeah.
My penny pinching heart is just overfloweth. It is such the ultimate way to get into it, I think, for people who are like, I don't want to, or they think one way about growing their own and stuff. And then they start buying it and they're like, you know what? I'm willing to be a degenerate if it saves me a couple $100 here and there, man.
For real.
But
dude,
yeah,
the fucking $100 dispo ounces are starting to really come in fucking clutch.
Well,
I'm like, man, if the problem is I have to do the math. They don't last me fucking even a week. So I'm talking over $400 a month. And that's when my grow was full on going, that's what I was getting. And if I was getting that much growing it. So it's starting to like, I'm weighing my odds here.
I'm curious, when it's your own stuff, do you smoke an ounce a week?
Or more, yeah.
Or more? Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Johnny, that's too much. No, I'm just kidding.
What? No way.
I wasn't gonna.
What? No way.
Oh, dude, I'm not. I'm over that anyway. I was gonna say there's good news and bad news though. As your dispo market matures, it seems that the way of the world is your ounces will get cheaper and extremely shittier.
This one is like a California, New York fucking farm, I guess, called Smokeland.
It's a California, New York farm. That is a massive fucking farm. How have I not heard?
I think they have farms on California and New York because, like, legally, New York fucking dispensaries are supposed to have only sold flower grown in New York. So
yeah, of course, that's.
But I don't know, like,
fucking legalization is supposed to be that way, and almost none of them are.
Exactly, I don't think they are. They keep getting shut down. The one I was going to right around the corner from my fucking job, I would stop and get a pre-roll every other day or something.
Already
they got shut down for selling
the California model.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Copy the California model. Exactly. You're going to get California results. I believe our gray market percentage has hit more than the majority at this rate. I was looking at statistics recently because I made the mistake of once clicking on an article from SF Gate, which is San Francisco Gate. I do not enjoy that city or any of the people in that city at this point. However, they seem to have so many cannabis articles, right? Like a few of them. And so they're constantly recommended on my news feed. And it is amazing how quickly California's market has completely destroyed itself, right? And it's the only blame you can put is on the government. The only blame is how it was
the laws, the
right?
fucking policies
The
they put in
laws that
place
they
for
put.
this.
Yeah.
Fuck the man.
This
There
market would
is-
thrive without all the extra fucking policies and bullshit.
There is a Ventura County dispensary, which is just slightly north of me, that last year, it was a farm dispensary. The last year, I want to say they purchased their license for $3 million. And they were building this new facility. They have not built the facility, and now they are trying to give away the license to anyone who will pay the taxes associated with it. Because of the government, they have literally destroyed value. Now, granted, all of this was overpay, right? Like all of this was because of what the system was established, and people were just trying to rush to get in. So anyone with any understanding of economics would have realized it was a shit idea. But it was the only idea they had. So what they ended up doing is they destroyed all of the legacy farms that knew what they were doing, and they put in all of these fucking multi-billion-dollar corporations that had the money to pay all of the bullshit. And on top of it, most of them are people that are friends with politicians, or like the one that got raided by ICE, a former fucking law enforcement officer who donated big money to our governor. So I always hazard to say, I won't get into politics, but it's all fucking connected regardless of who's in charge, right? It doesn't matter the name at the end, R or D. They're all politicians. They're all fucking got their hands in it, ruining it, especially in this state.
Yeah.
Now, New York is following that motto, and that scares me. And I didn't want to get negative, but goddamn, do I hate the government.
Yeah, man, it's sad.
Well, and maybe I'm romanticizing it, but I swear the best flower I ever had was like 2009, 2010. Just my first big bag of weed that I bought was Northern Lights No. 5, and it just knocked my socks off.
There was our medical scene before legalization, right? Like the medical scene that I grew up with and went like to high school, and that was pretty much when I was buying sacks from people is pretty much what you were getting, right? You go buy a t-shirt at the fucking dispensary for fucking pre-rolls and shit, but or the clubs. That system far superior than the legal system. And to me, that is hilarious, because as a kid in high school, if you would have told me, nah, man, you would prefer the way it is now to the way it'll be for quality. Like, it's super cool having delivery. Like, don't ever get me wrong. And there's concentrate markets that people are really in. And it is awesome to not have to stress about things. But holy hell, there's a lot of people who lost their jobs and their fucking livelihood because of government interference. And that's never right.
Yeah, man.
Amen.
Small people losing their jobs too. It's never the fucking bigwigs.
Right.
Yep.
No, it's never the connected
ones.
No, they get a bigger job somewhere else.
In the numbers.
Yeah, we'll put mandatory fees on shit that will bankrupt any farmer because we're the state, right? Like, and that's not even I'll get one more point, and that's on top of like, don't even consider how business the state is to begin with, right? Like, you pay $800 in this state just to own a business, regardless of if you make $1 or not. That's just the fee for owning a business in California.
Is that a yearly fucking fee?
Yep, every year. So if you're selling hot dogs and they want you to get legal, right? Like, there's this big push for all these street vendors to get legal, especially in my city. And they said, we won't, come down hard on you. However, you come legal with your hot dogs, you owe me $800 a year, no matter fucking what. I hope you make $800 selling hot dogs on Saturday and Sundays. Like, all right, man. That's not, in my opinion, the way to go. But this has gotten too political. This is supposed to be a fun show. Although, to be honest, if you listen to this show, you pretty much know that we're not fans of the big G men. But Ganja, you've got Northern Lights. You've enjoyed it. What made you go, other than saving a nickel and a dollar, what made you kind of like, what was your first step into growing?
Right away, you know, I'm I grew up in Utah. I'm from Utah, and having a solid connection here is hard. Like,
Yeah.
you have someone for like 6 months, and it's great stuff, and then suddenly they're gone. And that's just the way the cycle would go. And so right away, my first plug stops, and I'm like, "Fuck, where? How do I get
Now
this? This
what?
isn't cool
Yeah.
anymore." So I early on, I started fucking around with some seeds unsuccessfully. I tried to do like a little guerrilla grow, and of course, they didn't survive. They're like eaten by animals instantly. But I jumped on what was it? Altitude Seed Bank from the UK, and I got some Skywalker OG and some Bubba Kush and Blue Himalayan Auto, and just a whole bunch of seeds came over early on. Fucked up all the autos that I tried to do. So I've popped a lot of seeds that just never really made their way into existence past sprouting. And eventually I had a buddy who was like, "Hey, I got the space. I really want to grow." And I'm like, I've been nerding out on growing for years now. So if you're willing to donate the space, I'll donate seeds, knowledge, and I'll be like your partner in this or whatever. So he ended up doing most of it. I got kind of sketched out at one point just because I felt like he was opening his mouth a bit too much, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck? I thought we like
Yeah.
had agreed that it's not cool where we're at, and you telling a couple people ain't cool either." So
Especially not in a state like Utah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we, I think it scared him too. And so once he finished up, he tore everything down. And I think it was fantastic stuff. It was the Bubba Kush that I'd gotten from altitude, and still some wonderful shit. And then just hadn't had the opportunity to grow again for a long time because I was in shared living spaces with roommates and stuff, and didn't, I was the only like stoner. So it's like I'm
Yeah.
already sneaking up the house.
You still have to be polite, and
Exactly.
in your situation, you're like, hey, you guys willing to potentially risk your freedom for my fucking hobby? Like, you
Yeah.
never know, right? You get
Yeah.
But in 2020, I got my medical card, and I was like, this is great, but then also this is expensive.
yeah.
And after a little while, I just realized, man, this flower is kind of fucking shitty. like I was just smoking an ounce and just never really feeling like it hit me effects wise medically. And I think that's the biggest thing is I'm like I listen to Dr. Shields on Instagram and stuff, and I definitely feel like I fit into that stoner neurotype where I wake up and I start smoking, and it makes me functioning, and my brain goes straight to what do I need to do next for the day, like, and problem
Amen.
solving and shit. So I
And it
don't.
turns out it's a medicine, huh?
Yeah, it's insane. It's a beautiful plant, and once I kind of just decided, all right, well, we have a house, let's give it a go. And I did a little 2x2 tent with some Mephisto autos, and it was, like everyone's first auto journey on an indoor
Yeah.
setup. It's stunted to hell. They were like a foot and a half tall, and I probably pulled like an ounce and a half off of each of them, but it was still great smoke. And took some notes and
And you were
decided to,
hooked.
yeah, come back later.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
all you can ask for. You get to smoke your first seed. That's puts you at a higher echelon than most, right? It's always the like completion to get a flower from your seed. But I do have to ask, as someone quite familiar with Utah, does Utah have near cannabis like they used to have near beer?
What do you mean?
So in Utah, growing up, they used to not be able to have actual alcohol percentage in their beer. Like there was limits on how much
Oh,
how much ABV could be in
right,
beer.
right.
So if you bought Coors in Utah, it was lower APV than if you bought it in any other state.
Yes, the 3.2.
Yeah, the near beer. And
Yeah,
so I was curious if they also did. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that with like THC percentage in their medical. Like, yeah, you can get it, but you can only get it up to 3.2% or some shit. You know what I mean?
No, actually, they do a pretty good job with allowing any type of flower. I think it's
Good. What is the rules? Why don't you educate us? I'm not too familiar with Utah's medical.
I can get like 4 ounces a month, which is decent. The biggest thing is no combustion, so you're not allowed to take flame to your flower.
Really?
Which I've heard the same in other spots as well, but yeah, that's got me into dry herb vapes a lot, and I mostly vape.
I love the push. I absolutely enjoy like, hey, use this medically, try and limit the absolute worst of it, right? But goddamn, is it frustrating that someone can tell you how to use something that you need for your medicine?
Fucking is.
Like, that ain't your job.
And they definitely frown on you for using flour in general. It's so much more expensive here than edibles. Like, you can get 1,000 milligrams of edibles for $40, and but if you want an ounce of like quality stuff, it's $3.75.
Jesus.
Goddamn.
Shit.
That sounds very Utah-y.
Yeah.
I do. One of my, I'm going to keep coming up with Utah stories, not to make it look bad. Like I said, my entire family is still there and certain parts of it. But I always remember we'd go to like, I think it's Trolley Square.
Yeah.
Downtown Salt Lake. We would go to the spaghetti factory that it was there. I don't know if it's still there. And we would sit at our table and people would keep going behind this curtain. And I never knew what the curtain was. So I asked my parents and they're like, oh, if you want a drink, you have to go behind the curtain to drink your wine or your beer or I don't think it was anything but wine or beer. But I always thought that was funny. Only in Utah do they separate you if you wanted a drink.
They've come a little ways, but there's still like the holy wall that people will joke about where if it's a restaurant type license, they can't have alcohol being poured where the public can see it, so it has to be behind the wall.
It's a unique place, man. I as a kid went to a lot of jazz games and because I was a huge Carmelo and John Stockton fan.
Hell yeah.
And I would always as a kid be stoked to go to Utah to watch jazz games. And I think that's funny now as someone who doesn't even go to his favorite team's games because of how much fucking money they are and stuff. But this podcast isn't about my childhood, thankfully. I believe that's the court case has been settled. But so you $375 an ounce is fucking wild.
They got cheaper stuff there's a lot of outdoor options through some of the farms, but it's just like I said, not great. And you can tell it's a lot of just the same like cut, so you get like strain burnt out a little bit faster.
Yeah, I can get that. Do you know where they're growing it in Utah?
There's greenhouses around. There's a lot of stuff going up in like over by Utah State University is pretty popular up in there.
Logan and that area. Yeah, I have family up in that area. I would not be surprised if they were involved and or at least trying to rob the fucking place.
Yeah, and they got what is it, Dr. Bruce Bixby?
Yeah,
that guy's great.
Mark Madsen's the head coach, isn't he? Or did he move on? He went to Stanford, actually, huh?
Oh, I don't
Again,
know.
super hyper local sports talk. This will get all of our listeners excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was talking about that the professor up at Utah State University that's like super cannabis agriculture.
Utah State's the Aggies, right?
Yeah, the Aggies.
Yeah, the head coach of their basketball team used to be Mark Madsen, who was a Laker who won the championship before. Like I said, super hyper local talk that only I and whoever cares about the Utah State Aggies will know. Right. Yeah, so you grew your first grow in a 2x2.
I did.
Took notes, and what was your first change that you made?
Stop fucking around so much. Like, oh my god, I couldn't stop touching the plants. I had this in my head that like I gotta train them now. I gotta open them up. I gotta make a bigger canopy. I gotta boost the EC and
all the shit the YouTube influencers tell you gotta do, right?
Exactly. Oh,
you
no,
did all the stuff
straight down the rabbit hole of like, this is how you get massive yields, because ultimately I wanted to be able to like get to a point where I could do a grow and fill my stash that lasts close to a year, and just like totally be dependent on my own tent. Far from it. The first time it lasted like 3 months, maybe, but it was great stuff.
That was 3 of the best months you had after at first, though, right? You're not paying fucking top money for quality, and it's your own.
Yep.
I always tell people never to do the math on the first grow, right? Because you're buying a bunch of stuff, obviously, right?
True.
It's an investment, but also you don't go fucking to any hobby and expect to get like if I started brewing beer tomorrow, I would not think my first batch would be good beer or drinkable, right? But if you get to smoke it and it's good, that's a great step. Build on the next one, right? It's only going to get better.
Exactly.
I made a bunch of vinegar this year out of pears.
Whoops. You know what though? You might be able to find someone who likes pear vinegar. Doesn't that wolf like that weird ass fruit?
Probably.
Yeah, he'd probably be all
I'll bring
about
him a bottle of pear vinegar.
But so you took Johnny's favorite advice, which when we first started doing this podcast, he was adamant to tell people to fucking let shit be. Just not touching things.
The neglect tech works. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's the consistency. You have to be neglectful, but consistently neglectful, right? You don't kill them, but if you give them water the same time, even if it's as infrequently as you would like, it's still better than just changing shit up constantly.
Yep. And the next run, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get auto pots, and from there it was a lot easier.
Sips unlocked. Yeah.
Not overwatering every other time,
or worrying about underwatering, or worrying about did I water correctly. Yeah, it's the number one tip I think everybody who does it and will go back and tell people to do is get sips, right? Yeah. Sub-irrigated water. Wait, what the fuck? Did I fuck that? Yeah, sub-irrigated planter. Jesus. Yeah, get sips. Any kind of sips. I promise you it's the best thing you can do.
Yep.
So you went with auto pots. What size container?
I did the regular, like 5 gallon or 4 point something. I forget what size they are. But I did 4 of those, and I upgraded my tent. I waited a couple of years before doing it again, and I was like, all right, I want to make another serious attempt at this, and asked permission from my wife. Your wife doesn't like to come home to new plants being started without her knowledge. I've messed up on that one a couple of times. I'm like, but I'm just looking at the germination and how the roots grow for the first little bit. I'm not gonna take them into flower. I'm just observing. But yeah,
flowered.
Upgraded to a 4x4 with some auto pots, and tried cocoa and did all right, but I fucked them up again. I was like, had this in my head that I was gonna do, once a week flush and like add some microbes or something like that. And of course, like on the third time doing that, or like about a month in, burned the shit out of one of them just because the salt built up a little bit more than I was expecting. And yeah. So battled the next 2 weeks of stunting a couple of them and then bringing them back, and still did great. Like, looked like actual plants this time instead of little shrubs on the ground, which was nice. And had a great harvest there. That was my first time growing Alebrije, did Blue Zaroso and Purple Pantarania, and fell in love with our dear friend Alebrije at that point.
Yeah. Are you making it to the pop-up?
No, I told myself, like, all right, if tickets are still available tomorrow night, I'll take a look at using some points to fly. And then someone bought up the tickets, and I was like, it's a sign. I'd been on the fence about maybe quitting my job, and I was like, that'll make it hard if travel plans, and I'm starting a new job right away. But
exactly, tough to do with a mortgage. He did go to the first one though. A little spoiler. We met up at the first one. He slummed it down in LA for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. He's a gracious person. He is as wonderful and handsome as he sounds.
I'd say the same about you, Ginger Jesus.
Then you'd be
over
fucking
here.
lying, don't you?
Ginger
Don't
Jesus.
you? Ginger Jesus. Jesus Cristo, my friend. No, it was a wonderful pop up that you joined us for. And did you drive out?
No, we flew out.
Okay.
I've got some family in town there, and my wife has a really good friend, so we stayed with a friend, and yeah, bought some gray zone cannabis when I got out there,
Yeah.
and then showed up at the pop up, and holy shit, just the best flower ever. I think it was Jehu or who grew the dog walker Skywalker back cross, because that
was Jay. Yeah, Captain Jay.
That was
He
fantastic.
he grows some fantastic flower. What is funny is I had seen him like a month previously in Arizona. And we went out on his rock crawler, and his big old fucking awesome rock crawler. He's sitting there, he's taking out in the high desert, giving me his chillum to smoke. He's got this amazing piece too. Like the dude's just the nicest, coolest guy. He's got all these cool toys growing around the desert. And then 2 weeks later, him and his son come out and got to smoke the same stuff. And he's just a fun dude. If you get a chance, talk to him. He's a great dude.
Oh yeah. And the West Coast Tucadillo is fantastic. You guys killed it with that.
Yeah, that was
good stuff all around.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I had a blast, and I was glad everybody was like super stoked to be there. And Judas was literally the busiest man that day, rolling for everybody. So
he makes
I'm
it
excited.
Look so easy.
Yeah, well, he's got amble thumbs. Amble's not the right word there. Jesus Christ.
Nimble?
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. Nimble thumbs.
Take this
he does
from
have
me.
nimble thumbs.
Yeah, he's nimble thumbs. Dude, this is bad even for me. That's sorry, we need to get back. So you did cocoa, you burnt one. You decided I like the idea of all that work. I don't like the practice.
Exactly. And I started seeing a trend while I was like traveling around I would be your typical weed tourist, find a spot that got really good reviews, go in and be like, all right, I don't want to say I don't trust it if it's not like living soil, but that just started to be my key indicator of like, this is how I know I'm going to get something quality. I'd look around online before I go to like Massachusetts and like start looking at, all right, who are people talking shit on and what's good, and then go and buy an eighth of living soil flower and just be fucking blown away. And so right away I'm like, all right, there's a trend with my purchasing habits when I'm not in town. I have to do living soil now.
Yeah. So. You would be foolish not to. You'd be torturing yourself for no reason.
Yeah, and like my plants doubled in size again.
How weird.
And so it wasn't even like I was thinking cocoa's going to be the way to pull like, a couple pounds of tent or whatever, like really stock myself for the entire year, and it wasn't. It was living soil.
It's like what's the fuck? It's like the easy push button. As soon as you put living soil and fucking sips, it's like the easy go button.
I think it goes to show how much skill that those cocoa and hydro guys like really developed and can do when they push those monsters. Like everybody always says, if you want bigger plants, go cocoa, and that is very much true. However, it is entirely dependent on the person who is growing in cocoa.
You have to fucking know what you're doing, man.
You have to know what you're doing, and you have to do it well. So my hat's always off to anyone who takes their hobby and does it well. But it is, like you said, the easy button. I go multiple days where I'm like, oh, fuck, did I go into my garage today? And it's nice to know that at least it will be, or at the worst, it'll be unhappy with me, right?
Yeah. And you don't have to go in anticipating like, I got to do this shit today. You just go in and admire him for a second. Off. Yeah. Do a little stem rub, talk dirty to him.
If you wanted to be an optimal grower, it would be much harder to be an optimal grower with organics and with SIPs though, because you can develop some nasty lazy habits if you're like, nah, I'll do that tomorrow. And then you get high and you're like, nah, man, I'll do that tomorrow. And then you look at your phone and you're like, oh, it's been 6 days since I was watering that shit. I should go in and do that.
Yeah,
but that depends on your personality, I suppose. Not everyone's as lazy as me.
I'm just obsessed with the plant, and I think I mentioned I try to just do one grow a year. So when the tent's on, I probably spend too much time in it. It's like every morning, start my day, checking in real quick, cup of coffee, go back, do a couple like default sites, strip a little bit off the big ones, and yeah, I love it.
I don't think if you're keeping to your plan of doing one a year, I don't think you can spend too much time in your tent. You're just making up for lost time.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yep.
Just lost time.
Yeah.
But so what's in your pots now? If it's living soil, what's your soil mix? Did you mix it yourself? Did you buy bags?
I went easy, man. I just built a soil 3, and I ended up switching to the tray to grows because I wanted to get something bigger to like pack in some soil with, get more volume. And so filled them up and did a bag of Build a Soil Light on the top, so the seedlings would have something a little bit softer to start out in, and then really fluffy Build a Soil 3.0 on the bottom. Probably too fluffy. If I look back at it, I think my plants sunk down into the soil like a foot further than they should have. I was using like some wires, like in espresso and like coffee stuff. They have these waste distribution like wires that kind of fluff up the coffee grounds before you tamp it. And I was like laying on a layer of soil, spraying it a little bit, and then like fluffing it. And then I'd do more and fluff it more. And I went overboard. I need to tamp it down a little bit this time instead of
If you listened very carefully in the wind, you would have heard Stoney get an erection. That sounds like him in his like 5x9 tent just going to fucking heaven. Just that sounds like such a bonsai kind of like meditative process. I bet it was cool.
It was great. And I usually take the first node off. Like as soon as it starts showing, I just go in with little sterile tweezers and just pinch it. And the second node was still like an inch under the soil, like coming out. So they really sunk a little bit too far.
Jeez.
I'm being hard on myself about it, but it's the one thing, like next time I start up the tent, I'm going to be like, all right, not quite so fluffy.
It would have been interesting to compare your you're a fluffer. Congratulations. I heard that pays well. It would be interesting if you had a like soil meter to compare. Like if I spend this much time fluffing it, it goes fucking wild. Because Howling was having issues with having too fluffy a soil in his bed with the tray to grow. And I think tray to grow is perfect for the way you want to grow, once a year and pack it in there.
Yeah. What was Howling's issues? I don't know if I ever heard about that.
His soil was getting way too wet. It was like I think his reading at one point, I don't know if I'm butchering it, but it was like over 70% or something, right? It was like super sky high because he had switched soils, and it was just so he had a 2x4 bed in a tray to grow, and it was just going crazy with like the moisture. It was just because he has a huge reservoir. I'm probably butchering this because there's
I recall now. I just had so I was like, wait, he had issues? Yeah, I think he
grows so many different ways. But yeah, so what the soil was basically just constantly getting to the point of oversaturation.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop it. So he had to basically dry out his reservoir for a little while and then manually do it, which is, frustrating when he had his system nailed down. But he likes to do changes and fuck with himself because he's a masochist. So serves him right.
I'd probably fuck with it too much still as well. Like when I turn the water on, I just turn it on. Like I'm not doing any drybacks. Especially with the Build a Soil 3.0, I was just like, I think it'll be fine. So like day 15, I flipped it on and didn't look back.
There you go. I will give a point to Earthboxes there because I almost always get a dry back and it's never planned, right? Because I'm like, I'll fill that and then fill it the next day because I forgot. So that is always cool, right?
Yeah.
But if I had autopots, I would also not do dry backs because, like you said, man, turn it on and walk. Like that's a benefit that I think is unprecedented or like unmatched.
Oh, and if I turn it off intentionally, I'm gonna forget to turn it back on.
Yes, that's also how I do almost everything.
There's definitely been a few times where I like maintenance off real quick, clean something, come back 2 hours later. I'm like, why the fuck do they look kind of like they're drying back a little bit? Oh, I forgot to turn it back on. Shit. So try to always leave it on.
Our official YAG artist, Charles Budkowski, has a similar issue where he can't remember to turn his goddamn phone or his fan back on. So he's currently struggling with that too. So if we do find a solution, let him know. It would help him dearly.
The fucking AC Infinity app, I've done that a couple times where like I was looking at stats and I switched it over to the all on accident and closed my phone and then came back and it's like 0.5 VPD. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? How long has this been like this? Yeah.
My problem is always forgetting to turn my fucking unplug one tent and plug the next tent in from flower or not flower because they all turn on at the same time. So it's like I always forget that I'm putting fucking photo periods into a photo period tent that had just flowered. And not change the fucking light cycle back over to fucking 18.6.
Trying to show the autoflowers how fast you can grow a photo period.
Like, look. Yeah, you're like, look, it's similar. Now the light schedule has caught a few people a few times when you change, if you're rotating like Johnny does, where you're rotating, this is a flower tent, this is my veg tent, and then all of a sudden that changes and you forget.
Yeah, I'm always, dude, I'm a fucking mess with it. I'm not even growing indoors anymore. I'm not even growing at all anymore. I don't have a single plant. Yes, I do. That's a lie. I have that one fucking Humboldt thing that's been kicking around still. It's actually starting to flower outdoors now. So you can tell that's not going to make it.
Well, what are you starting up next? Come on, that's not going to last too long, I hope.
I'm not going to think about it until we get back from the pop-up.
He's going to have so many things to choose from. It's going to be pointless.
Man, I got so much going on right now. I'm trying to get my kitchen put back together because we'd like to have fucking Thanksgiving here. Never mind. It's just a lot.
There's going to be it's going to change, but we've got plans in the future. He's not giving up, but he did, just like he said, mention his kitchen because for the first time ever, he's got a nice brand new oven. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude was eating off of bonfires for the rest of it. Like 3 years just eating off of bonfires. Crazy.
Yeah. We've been rough living for a couple years into the fucking basement, but I finally got the hardwood floors put down. The cabinets are built. I had to fucking paint some of the cabinets now for the island. Then I got to build the island and finish the plumbing and electrical and the painting. And it's just a goddamn mess on top of starting a new class now and the ducks and the chickens and yeah.
And that is why you are allowed to sleep as late as you want when you can sleep.
Yeah. How are the ducks?
They're awesome, except for I've got about 6 too many. And that just means 6 too many dicks, not ducks.
What's your total count now?
We got 12 ducks, but 6 too many male. We got 9 drakes and only 3 hens. So I'm unfortunately going to have to put them inside of the kill cone and chop some heads off.
Do you do the same thing with ducks that you do with chicken in that regard?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's a bummer. I gotta get a plucker, but they're expensive, man. I gotta get a plucker because like $500 at the least.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I just been skinning them. Take the skin right off the chickens, and they're just gonna end up in a crock pot and shit. Anyways, mostly the barnyard chickens that I've harvested, but these ducks are gonna be big birds, so I don't know if I want to leave the skin on or not. I don't know if I want to deal with fucking hand plucking a bunch of fucking birds. God, that sounds like a. Ugh.
Sounds like you've got yourself a handful.
Yeah.
Goddamn, dude, $500 plucker is crazy.
Yeah, can you DIY that shit?
Yeah, how could you?
I don't know. I don't know because it needs like rubber fingers and a spinning fucking. I don't know.
You buy enough sex toys, we can make anything work. Get the weird ass ones.
I buy enough lighters.
There you go. I was gonna say, there's...
and just...
or we just light the whole fucker on fire. Charred duck. Yeah, it's a shame too because it's not like you have very much like giving away a bunch of male Drake of these ducks, huh?
I don't. It's like who's going to take a bunch of male birds?
Yeah.
Here's anybody who's going to take them is going to do the same thing I'm going to do with them. So I can't afford to feed them. Like, I'd love to be able to go somewhere and see them someday again, but that's not going to happen. So they're going to end up in my belly.
This is the natural world after all.
It's just going to be tough, man. It is going to be tough because, like, these ones were mine. It was like the chickens were less, so I gave a shit less about, and the ducks are just always around, man. They want to like follow you around the yard and shit. And I chose the ducks and did all the everything for them. And I don't know. Now I got to go cut their fucking heads off.
It's rough, man. It's kind of the reason why some people have the ability to keep animals and some don't, because you can't keep animals and then be like, I'm just gonna keep them all, even though it's fucking not the way to do it, right? Like if you're gonna do it, you got to do all the negative shit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not easy, but you got to do it.
Yeah, it's brutal, but you know what? It's something that I always respect about the farmers and the like ranchers and shit who keep actual animals, because that's a tough motherfucking job, and it's their entire livelihood out there, dude. They're making those decisions, so who are we to judge, right? Like,
yeah, that was a great South Park episode.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I think the most recent one was making fun of the AG and shooting her dog in the face.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They just repeated that one over and over again.
Again, not to get political, but the funniest point about that whole thing to me is that is a self-snitch.
It is.
Why put that in a book about yourself that you're writing about yourself, man?
Why are you proud of that?
Yeah, like... man, if I was writing a book about myself, I am not a better book about me would include all the negative shit, but if I'm writing it, why the fuck would I include the negative shit, dude? Wild. Anywho, yeah, Johnny, I apologize. That's rough. You have my respect. I hope you don't have to deal with it soon. I hope you can kind of bum with
the
it,
last three
pop up.
Of the last three, the last batch my dad hatched or whatever. There was 8 eggs. We only got 3 to take. Well, we got 4. One of them died the first day. So there was only 3, and I've got to. Oh yeah, man, they're a fucking pain in the ass. And then so there was only 3, and only one of them turned out to be a hen. So she's gonna stay, but the other 2, when they fucking get big enough, and they're like maybe 2 months away, I think we figured like maybe the end of October, November or something like that. And then the other ones will be like full on almost 20 weeks old, so they'll be full on ducks by that point, big breasts and everything. So who knows?
Surely by then we'll have engineered a deflower. That sounds fucking horrible. A plucker.
A fucking, what do you call it? A trimmer. A trimmer.
That's I was thinking about that. I was just like fucking throwing it in a tumbler. Yeah. But I called it a deflower, which is the worst fucking thing you could ever say.
Shit, yeah.
Fucking 18th century English writer talking about sex. It's horrible. God,
we were supposed to go to the fucking, you know, I don't know if we are now. We were supposed to go to the fucking state fair today. And I was on the fence on whether I wanted to get a fucking turkey or not. at least fucking one just to have as a pet around this motherfucker would be dope as shit, man.
As a
But then I was
descendant of
walking.
turkey farmers, I recommend it. They're dumb as shit though, bro. They'll
Yeah,
try and
but
off themselves.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be fucking awesome. Like they love you and shit, and they're funny as fuck to have around. But
they're funny as
I
fuck
don't know.
because they're the dumbest motherfucking animal on the face of the planet. Yeah.
It's supposed to like make you really happy and shit to fucking have them around. But as I was walking around my fucking property, I was like, dude, I do have enough to get like 4 small fucking goats and not fully sustain them off of my fucking property, but do a pretty goddamn good job. And if I get 3 milking fucking what do you call them? Not calves, cows. I think you call them cows too.
I was gonna say, if you call them cats, I'm quitting. You don't just call female goats another cat. Oh, I know, but it would just they're cats. Like, no.
They might be cows and bulls. No, that doesn't sound right. I don't know what you call the goats and fucking. I forget now. I know the babies are called kids.
Isn't it have something to do with like? Never mind. I'm gonna sound like an ignorant fool talking about something
like,
I don't know.
You're just gonna let me do it all by myself? Then thanks.
No. Regardless, we don't need to answer this. You want goat milk? We all know which species. We all know which gender the milk comes from.
Yeah, dude, it's supposed to be fucking awesome. Like getting fucking
great.
Goat cheese
so useful. Yeah, goat cheeses and soaps and all
one
the
thing
shit,
to consider.
Man, so.
I don't know anything obviously about New York, but people who have goats around here use them as landscaping, right? You can rent them out to municipalities and do a lot of landscaping.
Jess is the one that showed me that. I was like, dude, I got trailers and all the shit to fucking do it. That'd be tits.
I kid you not, dude, like the canyon, right? Like the Laguna Beach Canyon is right by where I live. And there's goats all up in that hill all the time. Like I'll go hike back there next to goats and shit just randomly. It's pretty rad.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's like I would never ever have to grab my fucking hedge trimmers again. Just put the goats in that fucking area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fucking go to town, baby, and then just drive them around and fucking rent them to people who need their fucking land cleared, and they're paying the bills.
Exactly. At least they're paying for their feed.
Yeah.
Or their transportation because they're eating but
exactly. So it's free food for me, and they're fucking
exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What we needed llamas though. I am curious, and I don't ask this enough. I realize, and I'm gonna have to go back and ask every fucking guest that we've had now that I think about this. But how'd you pick GanjaLlama, right?
I played a lot of video games growing up.
Fuck yeah.
And my tag was Killer Llama. And coming into Discord, I was like, Killer Llama is a little intense. Like maybe I should just alter a little bit. But I've always liked the llama, even before Fortnite. Fuck Fortnite. But
is the llama your favorite animal?
The llama's great. Yeah. There was a friend growing up that had llamas like in his backyard, and so always liked llamas. And GanjaLlama just kind of seemed more fitting for a Discord username than Killer Llama.
Yeah, what was my name when I first fucking started? Johnny Weed Killer? What the fuck is that gay shit?
Dude, I do think it's pretty awesome listening to you here talking about the ducks and goats, and then thinking back to like some of the first episodes of Yag of Johnny saying like, "No, I'm never gonna fucking do that."
Oh yeah.
Did I really?
I feel like you did, yeah.
It all circles back to to make Stoney proud. It all circles back to what Ganja said earlier about asking the permissions that be, right? Like Johnny found someone and they found this hobby, and now his backyard's practically a zoo because of love.
Right? Yeah.
GanjaLlama tries to
love is what kept me asleep at fucking 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
That's what love is. Yeah.
No, it's super funny. I was gonna say that I usually am a do something and ask forgiveness later, right? Like as long as I know it's not a major deal, right? Like I'm not an idiot. I wouldn't do something that I know Megan would kill me for. But usually I'm just like, oh, oops, sorry. This morning I didn't quite get to it last night, so I was chopping another plant and doing everything, and she woke up early to go play tennis, and boy was she mad. The house reeked weed. And I was like, oh, sorry. And she's like, because I usually do it super late at night, right?
Yeah,
just keep for the neighbors' sake and everything.
Exactly.
And I could not stay up. So I woke up early to do it because I'm leaving, taking off on a plane. I need things to be settled and shit before I get on there. So it was the last opportunity because I also have to finish a bunch of fucking work before I leave. So before Thursday is going to be a bit of a bitch. So I was like doing that, and then I was just getting this scowl, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And it was that moment that I realized that's the exact reason I apologize later, because she would have said no.
Oh yeah, I've had that before, trimming like on an afternoon, and my wife comes home, and the first thing she says is, "It reeks in here."
Yep.
Like I smelled it at the door before I put the key in. I'm just like, oh,
don't be coming to our door. Yeah, exactly.
I'll be quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm started. No, I'm just like, I'll take care of it. But usually I time it better. Like I tend to make something in a slow cooker if I'm doing it at the same time.
Yes.
Some really
Learned
nice
the lesson.
Yeah. Fucking had the security called on us too many goddamn times, dude. I swear to God, when we first moved in here, it felt like we were getting cell checks. It was fucking happening so much. And I'd open the door and I'd be like, there are two middle-aged fucking people living here. Like my partner's on the couch watching someone be murdered or some shit. Like, come on in and check out the party we're having. It was pretty fucking wild.
Jesus.
Yeah, legal state problems, people can't still mind their own fucking business.
We fucking we were like you guys were mentioning asking for permission and forgiveness and shit. So I think it was like Monday. I got a text message. Don't be mad. I'm like, what? She goes, next time I go to Tractor, I'm gonna get some chicks because we have a broody hen that would not fucking we weren't giving her eggs. We were taking the eggs. We tried to break her for the broody, but she would not stop. She was stealing the fake eggs, stealing other chickens' eggs, and just continued to try to sit on them. So she goes, next time I go to Tractor, I'm gonna get some chicks and put them underneath Weirdo is this chicken's name. She goes, I'm going to put him underneath Weirdo to see if that'll break her from going broody because I think she just wants to be a mom that bad. And I said, you know what's fucking funny is I was going to come home with fucking a bunch of them today, whether you liked it or not. Shit. So she goes, all right, cool. Will you call and get a list of the ones I want then? And then bring them home? So I did, and we shoved them underneath them.
Has it worked out?
Fuck. Oh, yeah, man. She's fucking happier than shit. You should see her.
That's
She's like
awesome.
purring. The fucking chicks jump up on her back and shit and fucking just walk all over her. And she loves it, man. She's so happy and doing much better. She's eating and drinking and showing them how to like fucking forage and shit. It's like, oh, that worked. Like, it's weird how nature works, man. She just wanted to be a mom. Give me some fucking babies.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, what is this, man? I've been laying on these motherfuckers since like May.
Yeah, I know. She's like, I am a weird chicken.
Yeah.
Took me almost fucking this long. No, that's awesome. It is really cool. Like the fucking mental desire to do something is so evolutionary that it's wild.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, so Ganja, we have a fucking tradition around here. We ask stupid ass ridiculous
before
questions.
we get there, I have a couple more growing questions and then we can get into our Yak stuff. What is your growing season then? What when you do it once a year, I assume you go for the cool of the winter?
Yeah. Summers
are brutal.
Like, oh, dude, I don't want to see the power bill with lights and all that other shit going at the same time with the AC. But yeah, it's sometime around like October to February start. I love drying in like the dead of winter here because it's cold, and like dry. And I use my 2x2 tent now as like a dry tent, so I'll chop a plant, kind of process it down a little bit smaller, and use like a hanging rack and put it in there. And so you can vent the humidity pretty quick, but then you can also retain some humidity. So if it's it's great.
That's what I found about the fucking trying to dry in the 8x8 is you got to have a lot of plants in there or be constantly adding fucking humidity through. Excuse me. Through the humidifier. Thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah, I still I have a 2x3 that I use for drying pretty much because it's so easy to keep that microclimate.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pump an AC because Southern California, but I don't
Yeah.
have. I will say I talk great shit on a lot of states, and I will continue, including California. But Utah is one of the prettiest, coolest states. Like, there's a lot of things to improve in every state, obviously, but Utah is probably one of the prettiest, coolest states. And I have a deep bias because family and shit, but I love Utah.
Nature here is amazing.
It's one of the
most people take it
prettiest,
for granted.
by
That's
far the
wild.
best national parks. What's wild is going to Zion or going into like any of those national parks and hearing so much German or like all of the like people come from all over the world
Oh
to
yeah,
visit Zion. Like, it's wild how many foreign tourists there are. It's so cool.
I did not know that.
All the Red Rock stuff down in southern Utah.
Mm-hmm.
You can find some stuff that's not even as crowded as Zion and cheaper, and it's so beautiful down there. I love Red Rock. Red sand. There's a smell of like the desert in like December morning. It's like kind of desert flower and like cold sand, and it's one of those like core memory smells for me. I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Now, what is your as we're coming into your season? What is your setup now? Have you like already made your list of what you're growing? And if not, how often does that change?
Dude, I always have a list. I've like I've got a list for like 3 grows out where I'm like, okay, so if I do this one this time, then I should probably do this next time, and I should do photo periods at some point. So this is my list of photo periods, but yeah, going into the next grow, I do have a list. It's finally time to do some tangy tibiguana. I'm tired of hearing about it, and I want to grow for myself. So I've got
hell yeah,
some tangy 2.0, and our friend Alabrije was gracious enough to send me some seeds, and I've got a tangy rainbows F3 number 2 and a tangy rainbows by Juicy Ahalora. So we're gonna do a little back cross there, and probably a Dakar Haze. Try and say it like Flam.
Flam, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about just doing 2 plants. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not just gonna do 2 plants. That's boring. We should really max this bitch out.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the list, and I don't think it's gonna change. I think that's what I'm set on.
That's a solid list. 2 solid people, man. It's especially cool that you can grow your friend's gear for your medicine once a year, and like they're pretty much going to support that at your pace indefinitely, right? Like, if it's good stuff, you're golden.
Yeah, and I have too many fucking seeds. I don't think I'll ever even get through just Alabrije's seeds. It's
I've had to stop buying, man. I've made it a point to stop buying.
I don't think I have that willpower.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna fall for it every time.
I have that wallet power.
Yeah. Only because you've been forced away from it. Someone else, you have to go ask permission too often. You're like, nah, man, shit. No, I'm just kidding. And then so now though you're in the tray to grow, and you're 5-gallon pots, smaller pots. What are you doing?
It's what's the brand?
Is it
They're like the Living Organic big tray,
Grassroots
2x4 tray, Grassroots. That's it. Yes.
You got a big bed, 2x4 bed.
I got 2 of those, and
hell yeah.
Last time I finished, I actually took my soil. It was still moist, and put it in buckets with some mycorrhizal, and it's still like I open up the lid and it's dripping and smelling like rich soil.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna just reload those, and I'll probably get a new bag of something. And I haven't really decided that yet. I need to do a new filter as well, because I've gotten 2 runs on this carbon filter, so it's starting to stink.
That's another reason I haven't started my fucking grows up, man. My filters are like 2 years old.
Yep.
Dude, okay. I need to remember who did it. I think it was Big Jur. It has to have been Big Jur. Drill out the rivets, and there are screws. And then you can get self-tapping metal screws, and you can make any of those filters refillable. Because I got Megan for Christmas last year, got me a refillable filter,
the refillable one, yeah,
which is dope. And now they sell the recharged carbon, right? And I think each bag can fill an 8-gallon or larger or whatever. But it's gotten down to the point where it's fairly inexpensive if you drill out the rivets, which is not everyone can, but it's not as hard as it looks. It's fucking easy. And those you can get it off, and then there's screws that in there. You can get self-tapping screws, and then you can literally just pack it the way
you should be using to make your
Don't you fucking dare!
Your scrognet.
Scrognet? No, I don't think I'm gonna do a scrognet.
If you do, make sure you're using screws.
Don't waste the money. Holes are free. Anywho. It's so funny too, because it's such a petty argument that we continue to have, but the far majority of people do it your way. So I am blatantly wrong, obviously, right? Like just blatantly wrong based on anecdotal evidence. But I refuse to accept it, you motherfucker.
Shit.
It's because everybody buys the pre-made scrognet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the way to go now. The stretchy elastic ones, that's all I do anymore. It's just fucking stretch them out, pole to pole. And I actually, if I can, I'll shimmy it up and then cut the plants down and then shimmy it back down as the next row's going down, so I don't fucking lose them. But it doesn't always happen that way if you're doing too much twisting.
All right. Now, I've asked my ridiculous on-brand questions. Now time to get
to the
important shit.
Philosophical. This is how we really get to know our guests. What's the first seed you've ever planted, and why was it an apple seed?
It wasn't an apple seed. I'm sorry. That came soon after, but I do recall like sometime in preschool doing a bean sprout in a class, and like we had them in the dark cupboard and checked on them the next day, and so it was a bean sprout.
Hell yeah, that's a good one.
They're the easiest ones too, I think, normally.
Yeah, like in first grade,
like crazy.
The Johnny Apple story, and everyone planted apple seeds. So,
of course,
definitely have done apples.
Yeah, hell yeah. What's your favorite pie, and why is it apple pie?
So I'm not really a dessert person, and I know what Rev's gonna say, but I gotta say it's a shepherd's pie. I'm going with a meat filling.
You draw me in with the I'm not really a desserts person, and I'm like, yeah, he's good people, and then he hits me with shepherd's pie.
Yeah,
that's
whipped.
I was gonna even 5 with pizza pie.
I know it's a good answer in that it's legal answer. And it's a bad answer in that whipped mashed potatoes on top of beef is hardly a meal. I don't like it. It's not something I can do.
It's so much more than
ground lamb, right?
Oh, dude, I actually
Shepherd
like
makes it lamb.
Really? I'll do lamb or beef, but it's in the preparation. It's
but if it's a beef, it's called something else, right?
Like a ranch pie, rancher's pie, or something.
Something else. But anywho, I'm not a fan of mashed potatoes, right? Like the texture bothers me. So shepherd's pie is
I forgot you're such a texture guy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I inherited it from my mother, and I curse her daily.
Peach pie is a follow-up if I had to choose a sweet thing.
How often are you eating in shepherd's pie though? Because you're a very talented home cook. You post wonderful pictures all the time. In fact, it's infuriating sometimes when you're starving, and this motherfucker's like grilling up wings and shit.
I love cooking. It's like a joint, blast some music in the kitchen, cook some food, barbecue some food. Yeah. Once it gets into like colder season, like starting right about now, probably once every other week.
Right on. I like that answer. I'm glad when people enjoy and cook their like favorite meal, right? Like if someone's like, my favorite meal is this, but I hardly ever eat it. And it's like, well, that sucks. You only go around this thing once.
Yeah, you can go and get like a chuck roast. It's a cheap piece of meat.
Yeah.
Chuck roast is fucking fantastic. Cube it up, some carrots, celery, onion, cook it all together, do a beer into there, get some like yummy gravy going with it. Oh, it's so delicious.
Gravy is the answer to most things.
And then you got like 3 nights of meals for $20.
That's tough to fucking get past now. I almost don't want to ask what your favorite fruit is. Well, what's your favorite fruit and why is it apple?
Beef liver.
Nectarines?
Oh shit.
I'm a sucker for pit fruit. Like anything with a big pit in it. Peach, nectarine, plums, mangoes.
Nectarine's a rare answer. I like it.
Nectarine's probably the top.
All right. This is my favorite question. You're going to a pizza shop for the first time. You're out of town. It's your first time walking in. You're just grabbing a slice on your lunch break. Do you get a slice of cheese or a slice of pepperoni?
Without a doubt, pepperoni. But if it's a good place that is like, all right, they make good pizza, like Neapolitan is like the litmus test. It's like, all right, it's good pepperoni, but can they make a really good like margarita style? And that'll win my heart. If they fuck that up, I might lose faith in the establishment and as a whole.
Never come back.
To the question asked, pepperoni. But if we asked a different question, the answer would be Neapolitan.
Yes.
Perfect. I win.
I do think a Neapolitan's a superior pizza to a pepperoni. But do I trust just any random establishment? No. So the default like go-to would definitely be a pepperoni.
I bet you bad Neapolitan pizzas have killed more people than bad pepperoni pizzas.
100%.
Yeah. Shit. All right, what's
I don't
your
know what that
what's your
proves.
go-to
I just
sandwich?
To say it.
What's your go-to sandwich?
There's a place in Utah called Moochie's that makes the most incredible cheesesteak. I've never even been to Philadelphia, but they do like thin sliced ribeye, grilled onions, cheese whiz. Fucking delicious. And it's comfort food. It tickles my brain, so it's a Philly cheesesteak from Moochie's.
Ooh, hell yeah. I like that. I think that's all the questions I have.
Sorry, I was choking. I wasn't ignoring that. That is a decent choice. I'm sure all of our Philly fans, there's none. They couldn't listen to us. They'd just say mean things and throw batteries at us. No, but a cheese. I'm sure they say it's not a cheesesteak if it's not made in that godforsaken city. But we have local places that do similar imitations, and they have like a buffalo chicken one where they do it similar. I've always been fond of it, even if it's blasphemy.
I just love meat on a sandwich. Like stack some meat up, put some cheese on it.
Yeah, he's a meat lover. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I dug all of those. Nice. I'm gonna have to try Moochie's next time I'm out there. But did you say you get it with the onions?
You can order it without if you're weird about onions.
It's not weird.
It's Utah. It's Utah. They're used to people being like, "So can I hold the onions and the flavor and the cheese, please?" I just like.
Yeah, I just want bread.
Just want bread with some
$20 bread. Yes, there are so many strange people in every state, but at least they're ordering bread. In California, they're like, I would like a burger, no cheese, on lettuce. In fact, just put the tomato on lettuce, and that'll be it. It's like, okay,
and I'm
that's a meal.
stuffed.
And I'm stuffed. Yeah, and throw it up later. No, that was great, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I guess I will do a quick little.
I was gonna say it's
sermon.
Sunday, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Feels like we haven't done. It sounds like we haven't asked the questions or given a sermon in a long time, man.
Yeah, it felt dirty. It's because we keep being postponed by our own dumb shit.
Life.
But I will take that and run with it. It is acceptable to allow life to, overwhelm you at times. But the most important thing that you can do is take some time, regroup, and keep going, right? Because like I alluded to earlier, you only do truly go around this journey once. So sometimes it can feel really fucking stressful and overwhelming, and it's okay to be upset, but you got to get back up and try again. And the best way to do that is to take a deep breath and remember, you just got to keep going, right? That's the only thing that matters. That was nonsense. Don't be a dick. Mind your own business and go with Frog.
Consider the source.
Consider the source.
But Ganja, thanks for joining us, man. You got anything you want to plug?
No, actually, sure. Flam's body ointment. Fuck, I love that stuff. I got some on my back right now. Give a shout out to Flam. That stuff's money.
The unofficial fifth member of YAG.
Official, he just fucking hasn't recorded his motherfucking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not calling him out. He's a busy motherfucker. Johnny, do you have anything to plug?
Nope.
Have we ever had anything to plug at the end of these?
No. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Peace.